At WEP, we of course encourage sponsors to start thinking about access early and really lean into utilizing access for all that it can be. Thinking through where the sponsor is currently as a clinical company, but also thinking ahead as to how this access program will affect them as a commercial company, as it really has a ton of value. Everyone can agree, obviously, that the investment and the impact to patient lives and access programs is a really great thing. And it's extremely worthwhile. It's worth the investment. But how do we make the most out of that investment, right? How do we make the commercial team just as happy as the medical affairs team? So there's a few different things that we tell sponsors to think about when they want to really maximize the investment or really maximize the opportunity to treat these patients. Data is an obvious one. Like, what data can we collect? How is that data going to impact, different findings down the road, different learnings down the road? You can create white papers, obviously educate your organization on future clinical development, maybe utilize that data and some sort of submission or coupled with your clinical data. Your opinion leader impact is extremely important as well. How many key opinion leaders are you reaching in your clinical trial now? How many more can you reach in your expanded access program? Depending on your disease area, this can be extremely, extremely impactful. Future commercial market impact. What countries are you doing access in? Are there patients that you're going to reach now that wouldn't have been reached in your clinical trial that could obviously set you up really well for when you go to market in that country? Uh, Anything that you can learn from the EAP, obviously treating more patients, there's going to be a ton of takeaways from how this product really impacts the real patient population, because that's what the expanded access patients are. They're the real patient population. That's why it's called real world data. And then obviously the opportunity to start building relationships with the patient community, the patient advocacy organizations. That is huge for whenever your product starts getting into the hands of physicians. What patient advocacy organizations think about your product is going to really impact how that commercial launch goes as well. Uh, Access is really quickly becoming an integral part of the clinical development journey. So it's really important to choose a partner that is thinking about both the immediate impact on patients, but also the ripple effect that the program could have down the road. So we really recommend just start planning early and to choose the right partner that's going to think about your entire clinical development journey when looking at access programs.